Excited for a road trip? Start it off right with auto coverage from American Family Insurance. J.D. Power ranked us #1 in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance shopping experience among mid-size insurers. Get a quote at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
For J.D. Power 2021 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
What is going on? You are watching and listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition, and I'm your host, Steve V. This is episode 348 alongside Kodi Maurice Doggette. How the hell are you, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm doing well. I'm doing
Hello,
wonderful.
darling.
I leaned in a little bit for you. I had to give you the full fantasy, darling. Touch all the skin.
Tell the audio listeners what your t-shirt says, because it's
My t-shirt says gas, grass, or stash. Nobody rides for free. And it's true. I have the mustache to prove it.
You do. I'm looking at it. I love that t-shirt. That's a great one.
Thank you. I did some unpacking today and I found it and I was like, this is what I'm wearing for the show today. I can't wait.
So I love that you are getting unpacking and we're kind of living this vicariously through you on each episode. But you told me offline that you had date night, which I think is so great and important to do, and to keep that up, especially in the middle of a move. Mm-hmm. How did that come about? What can you tell us what you did?
So we went to, a long time ago, there was West Gay at the Westway. I guess, I don't know what it was. It was like a factory or something. I'm not entirely sure. It was so long ago. It was on the west side. It was out near the pier and all that kind of stuff. So they had this party every Tuesday night. It's called West Gay. And they stopped it in 2015. And last night was the 10-year anniversary reunion party that they had. And once I saw it, I told you, I was like, we have to go to this. I know it's on a Tuesday. I know you have to work the next day, but I'm paying for the tickets and you're coming with me. And this is going to be our night. So we had a great, so many people that we knew there, even though it was our date night. And I was like, okay, hi, bye. We're going to go dance now.
That's the problem when you go to an anniversary party of a club that's prominent like that. But it sounds like a great time.
It was so good. But we only lasted like an hour and a half because we're old people. Well, I'm an old person now.
I mean, it's Tuesday night, especially if you wake up the next day and you're trying to get going. And we just heard offline what time you get up anyway. So
Steve, that didn't happen today. I didn't even wake up at 10:30 today. I woke up at like 12:30 because I had the worst hangover because they made my second drink so strong.
Oh, what was that? Okay.
Oh, poor me.
You should have brought your own White Claws and called it a day. Those weak ass canned drinks are no way. You know it's a bad date when they show up with White Claw.
I'm gonna get you addicted. You wait.
We'll see. I don't think there's enough alcohol in there to get addicted. I mean, come on. All right. Well, we got to get into this show. We have so many topics. We said we were going to get sidetracked, and here we are already sidetracked. You know, Coco Peru, she's legendary drag queen. A lot of you may know her just from here in New York. Many of you may know her from Will and Grace. Mm-hmm. Others may know from the 90s, the gay rom-com Trick, one of my all-time favorite movies. Yes. She is going on tour. I loved her answer. Her show is going to be called Coco Peru is Bitter, Bothered, and Beyond. How cool is that title? Especially coming out. It. Yeah,
because I totally am aligned with that. Bitter and bothered. Yes, that's me.
Yep. And she's going to be in San Francisco. One of the great things about this interview that New Now Next did with her is they asked her, well, how did the show come about? And she said San Francisco asked her to create, does she have some material? And she said no. And they said, well, create some. So she went and took her pandemic wisely and wrote up a whole new show. It's called Bitter, Bother, and Beyond, like we just said. And they asked her, what in particular bothers you these days? She writes, "Oh Lord, well, one of the big things that has bothered me is that we just went through this horrible pandemic that we're not out of yet. But during lockdown, especially, I just thought that human beings would come out of it having learned something or being gentler with each other
Mhm.
and with the earth. And that has not been the case as far as I can see. I find that really frustrating and it makes me angry." Can you relate to what she is saying, Coco Peru, on just did you have a little bit more high hopes of humanity coming out of this? Or let's just say with our LGBTQ world, maybe?
Well, all in all, yes, I did have more high hopes for our everybody, because I thought
Yeah.
we all came together so well in the pandemic. Well, most of us came together so well during the pandemic, and we did what we had to do. We did the things that we needed to do in order for the pandemic to kind of subside. And then once everything subsided, everything we ran amok, and especially gay people. It was just so surprising to see everybody go so insane. It's understandable because we were in lockdown, and once you feel so enclosed and trapped, then it's when you get out comes, then you tend to go a little bit crazy. But everybody they're so much ruder, in my opinion, from what I've come to understand. I do work in a restaurant on the weekend,
Yeah.
so people are a little bit ruder, and they are so entitled, and it's just amazing to me. What do you think?
I think the same. I think people are a little bit ruder. There's some pockets of glimpses of
Mhm.
humanity just doing really great things. But yeah, I mean, just going into the grocery store, I still kind of wear the mask when I go in there just because I think, COVID is still out there and a lot of people are just kind of nasty with it, running you over in the grocery store, huffing and puffing. And I although my barber today, I got my hair cut, I got the
You look
new
good,
line
boo.
in it,
Now.
and he is just the nicest guy, very straightforward. We had a great
Mhm.
conversation. Like, I feel there's glimpses of really nice people out there that are really doing good things,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can definitely relate to her and what we're seeing. But I bet it's going to be for a great show, right? It's going to make for good content.
I cannot wait. I love Coco Peru. I discovered her from, have you ever seen the movie Girls Would Be Girls?
No,
It
I
is
gotta.
so good. And
Okay.
Varla Jean Merman is in there as well. It's so good. I love it. So we have to watch it. We're gonna have a movie night. I'm already gonna bring it. Book it with you. I'm bringing the White Claws, and we're gonna have a wonderful evening. Okay.
Okay, yeah, maybe we can do a Discord channel viewing party with our Patreon members and watch it and
Ooh,
comment. That's
I
always
love it.
fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting too because she lives in LA now, but she's from New York, Coco
Mhm.
Peru. And when asked, because she's going to be performing soon
Mhm.
at Birdland, which is
I
the
love
iconic
Birdman.
Birdland here in New
Yeah.
York City, 42nd Street. Really excited about that. I want to go see her. Does she miss New York? And she said she will never ever miss the energy she feels essentially performing in front of a New York audience. But no, it's New York triggers her.
Mhm.
And that's kind of an interesting thing because I'm from LA
Okay.
and I live in New York. And
Mhm.
I feel like when I go to LA, I'm really excited to be back. It was my
Mhm.
old stomping ground, but LA can trigger me, whether it's the 1:15 and it's last call,
Oh, okay. I
or
see.
it's walking down Santa Monica Boulevard and seeing just craziness, people going, crazy off their mind
Oh, yeah?
on the crosswalks. I'm just triggered in LA.
Oh,
Are you ever
wow.
triggered of your old former stomping ground? And is that why you don't live there anymore?
I don't go back there.
Oh,
Like,
I
I
just
don't.
got school. I just got schooled on here by Teddy, who says last call starts at 1:30. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's okay. That's so early.
15 minutes is 15 minutes. It's not much difference. That's crazy. I'd never go back to Kansas. He just asked me if I went back to Kansas, and I
Are
have
you
never.
triggered by Kansas? You should be. If not, no,
By
I'm
just the
kidding.
thought of it, yes. But I've been back to Philadelphia because I used to live in Philly as well. So, but I don't really get triggered there. I think that if anything, the nostalgia factor just sets in for me, and I just really am enamored with the city, and then I get to leave, so I'm okay with it. So,
You know, where I'm really originally from is a town called Fremont, California, and it was voted the happiest city in America for 2022, the number one in the world. Sorry, in the world. World or America? I think America. America.
Okay.
Sorry. And I was like so surprised, and I do get a nostalgic feel every time I go back there. So I have to agree with you on that.
And maybe it's just bigger cities.
Yeah, maybe it's just bigger. Yeah, bigger cities are tough. It's a love-hate no matter how you look at it, right? I would agree with that for sure.
Exactly.
They pull at you. They tug and they pull like a lot of other good things. But
well, did we change the subject already? Oh my goodness.
All right, we are moving on because Disney. I didn't know this, but you guys know John Oliver. John Oliver of his HBO show we'll get to his last week tonight.
Okay.
He let Disney have it in his most recent episode of his show, criticizing the company's controversial response to Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. Disney has been in hot water ever since it was revealed that the company donated money to the GOP backers of the bill. Quote, are they morally bankrupt or doing that? Oliver asked. Who's to say? I'll tell you, I am. I am to say, after all, Zazu. He's referencing the fact that he was in Disney's Lion King. He did the voice for Zazu. Oliver also criticized CEO Bob Chapek for his initial refusal to apologize or take a public stance against the bill, and for his declaration that Disney's diverse stories speak for themselves. Quote, generally movies can affect how people view the world, but is this really a path that you want to go down, Disney? Oliver asked. Because you are the same company that's coded basically every villain in your movies as gay, stereotyped minorities to a breathtaking degree, and had something called a wench auction in place at Disneyland until 2018. Okay, I don't know what that is, but
doesn't sound good, that's for sure.
No. Did you know about this?
Wench auctions? No, I don't even know her.
Well, the last thing that he said is he spent time dissecting that what the Don't Say Gay bill would actually do, concluding it's not about sex, he says, at all. It's about denying the existence of gay people. And that I totally agree with.
Yep.
And John Oliver, I applaud you for this, for standing up, especially when you've been in a movie of Disney and probably won't get, he even joked, probably not going to get cast in any other voiceovers for Disney. But it's incredible because we were talking offline that those Disney cruises are filled with gay boys left and right. In fact, every cruise really is.
Yeah.
But
and Alan said he works at Disney World and the only straight thing there is Cinderella's castle. So, and I told him that's just the confirmation that we needed because we weren't entirely sure. But
yes, that's great. Yeah. Does it surprise you that Disney would take this stance? Why get involved in this Don't Say Gay bill? It's not really called that, by the way, but everyone's calling it the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida.
It surprises me and it doesn't surprise me. Because Disney has always had these underlying overtones of family values and things of that nature. And I guess that family doesn't really include gay people, if you ask me, if they're in support of the Don't Say Gay bill. It does surprise me because Disney has such great policies in place for their employees. They said they were one of the first people to have same-sex benefits for same-sex partners back in 1996, and they support trans people and through their transitions. And that's why it's kind of confusing to me. It's like we can live our lives, but we can't have our existence affirmed. And it's just sad to me. I really just want to know what the truth is.
Yeah, yeah. It totally surprises me, but they're getting called out for it. However, another company, on the other hand,
Mhm.
is DC Comics, on the
Oh,
other hand, is
yes.
stepping up to the plate. June, better known to many as Pride Month, is right around the corner, and longtime superhero publisher DC Comics, y'all, has a lot of big plans in store to celebrate their jam-packed slate of LGBTQ plus heroes and personalities.
Mhm.
Hitting comic book store shelves, Out.com writes, on May 31st, DC just announced the release of DC Pride
Love it.
2022.
Mhm.
Number one special. It's a 104-page anthology comic that features LGBTQIA plus characters from all over the extended DC Comics universe. So we've got trans actress and Supergirl star Nicole Maines even wrote the introduction for the special book. And in true DC Comics fashion, that's not all that's going to be released. To celebrate the LGBTQ plus community throughout the rest of the year, they'll
Wow.
be releasing rainbow-colored Pride-themed variant covers of some of their most popular titles like Nightwing, Superman, and
Nightwing's
Harley.
not gay.
Well, how about Harley Quinn, just to name a few? The
Yeah,
artwork from some of
she's
today's most
bi.
popular comic artists. What do you think of these new Pride variant covers? This is, to me, a good description. You were telling me offline that this is kind of a big deal because they've stepped up to the plate, as opposed to, who's their counterpart?
Marvel Comics. Well, I feel like Marvel Comics stepped up to the plate first, and DC is kind of following suit. I feel that's just my personal opinion. I've always read Marvel Comics, so I might be a little bit biased, but Marvel
Okay.
Comics has always had more gay and LGBTQIA plus representation, and DC Comics really stepped up to the plate in the past year by
Okay.
having more high profile characters come out, because they had like lower profile characters come out, like supporting characters and heroes that nobody ever heard of after they had one appearance. And
Oh, so
yeah.
what am I hearing that it sounds like DC, because of inclusion and
Mhm.
diversity
Mhm.
that has become so prolific in the last couple years, that DC decided to one up on Marvel and
Yeah.
come out with these characters with this whole plan
Yeah.
to celebrate Pride and come out with this book? Does it sound so? So is it a good thing still, or does it sound a little calculated
No.
because they're answering to what everybody's talking about, which is inclusion and diversity?
Mhm. I think it's a good thing overall. I think the more representation there is, I don't know why that I had such a hard time saying that word just now.
Have another cocktail.
Everything will come out and go in easier then, won't it?
Yeah.
I think the more representation there is, the better off we are as human beings, because they have more queer creators that are actually writing these books now too. I listened to a queer podcast about comic books. That's make me a big nerd.
Let's just put a big N on your forehead. No, I'm kidding.
and
Geek.
and they really are highlighting how many queer people are writing these comic books now and are having our voices heard, and I think that's in direct correlation to how many more queer characters are in the book. So I say it's a good thing all in all.
I agree, because if our last story was Disney, one of the largest entertainment companies out there, and Disney owns cruise companies and Disney World, on and on and on, all the film, all that we've just mentioned, and here they support this stupid tiny bill in the state of Florida that barely came out, and they're backing that, and then they tried to walk it back. That is really bad business in my mind. And DC is actually, even if they were doing it for inclusion, that's okay. That is the name of the game right now. And it sounds like that's the way to go. So no, I have to agree. I applaud them.
I do have a question though. Do I have to cancel my Disney Plus?
Do you have Disney Plus?
I do.
Oh my, yes, I think we need. No, I don't. I won't watch them now. I will not watch them.
No?
No, I'm not Mr. Disney here on
No,
this
oh my
end.
gosh,
I
love you,
will.
Disney.
You will give me a selection of DC comics,
Okay,
though.
I'll do that. I'll totally do that.
DC, yes. Disney, no. I mean,
Okay.
no. I'm from LA area, and yes, I loved Disneyland back in the day, but I mean, yeah, no. I'm kind of mad at them right now.
Okay.
Teddy says that DC is a little bit gay baiting. Marvel had a lot of LGBTQ characters, so interesting. Might be. It's kind of that question: are they gay baiting, or are they really including and they're feeling the heat? But I think they're doing a good thing ultimately, is what they're doing.
The end game,
Unlike Disney.
the end
Yeah.
result. Yep.
Right. Okay. We've got to move on. This next is kind of a crazy story. A Wisconsin man was arrested for filming up to 542 people naked in the gym locker room using a hidden camera
What?
in his coffee cup. 33-year-old Milwaukee man is accused of secretly recording people inside the gym locker room. Peng Dong is his name, charged with numerous counts of capturing an intimate representation without consent. Authorities say the victims were secretly recorded using a hidden camera inside a coffee cup at Wisconsin Athletic Club locations in Brookfield, Milwaukee, and Wauwatosa? Wow. Okay. According to the criminal complaint, don't laugh, Brookfield police were called to the gyms on December 24th, 2021 to investigate suspicious circumstances. Not Christmas Eve. I mean, here I was having by the fire, eating Christmas cookies, and this guy fool over there is with his coffee cup recording, getting all into his naked man in the gym.
Oh, Lord.
Jeez. An officer made contact with Dong and asked to see what was inside a backpack he had with him. Dong reportedly had a video recording device with him that was inside a coffee cup. Dong, according to a complaint, admitted he was using the camera to record anyone who was walking near his locker. However, when he was asked if it was possible he recorded anyone naked, Dong reportedly laughed and replied he was very certain it had recorded several people while they were naked. Dong was placed under arrest. Like, why would you laugh at that point? It's like, I mean,
I'm laughing because, sorry, you keep saying it gets hilarious.
Dong was asked how many videos he had. Dong told I think this writer loved it. Dong told investigators he estimated they would find over 200 men he recorded in the locker room.
That's why I was giggling before. I'm sorry.
And finally, investigators believe there could be as many as 542 victims, including minors. Now, in the comment section, somebody wrote, I'm sure some of you all have jacked off to those kind of videos, so you all have to have him to thank for those. And Kodi, you admitted offline before we went on air that you like some of these videos, and that you've actually had fun watching some of these videos. Do you still stand by that?
So Diane Sawyer.
It's Barbara. Thank you very much.
All right, Barbara. Wow. I do not.
How are you gonna back this up? No. You're not the one that got arrested, so let's not blame you.
Exactly. Because in the back of my mind, in my defense, porn is a fantasy, and everybody that is involved knows that they are involved, or that they are 18 plus. So that is the first thing that springs into my mind when I watch porn. So I have enjoyed these types of this type of porn before, and I don't think that I will be able to enjoy them in the same way now that I know the lascivious things that some people are doing in order to get this content. So yeah, I don't think I'll be able to just watch it in the same way, except for, you know what, I have watched before that I know that they know that they're being recorded is when they're in the gym and they just take everything off themselves, and it's their own phone. So I think that's totally hot, and I would love to watch some of that. So if anybody wants to send me some of that, please do.
Okay. Email Kodi. You know, what I was going to say is, no, I definitely have found, and gotten off to some really hot content when you know the person in the scene is filming it. So where there's, or even by a urinal stall,
Oh,
but they're filming it, or in a shower stall, but they're filming it and they're in on the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I find that because I'm kind of like, my heart's like beating really fast because I'm like, who's gonna come around the corner? Because that's what I would be worried about.
Or in the sauna. Oh my God, I love it.
Well, I have had fun in the sauna before,
me too,
and the last time was a few years back. I'm not going to mention the sauna name, but this guy. It was a Saturday about 6:30 in the evening, when it was very dead. And this guy decided to come over and take off my towel and go down on me.
Love it.
And I loved it, but I was freaking out because I kept looking up at the door like, oh my God, staff's going to open the door.
And I'm going to pretend you dropped something. I was picking something up.
My towel.
Me and you are the reason Crunch closed their Steams room, just so you know.
But this to me is so wrong that he would do this, because there's minors involved in all this, and it's just so dirty, and it's like, really, dude? And he looked like he had no remorse over it. He didn't even try and lie about it when being asked about it. And so I think, that's so gross to me.
Consent is so important. So,
and what are you going to see? To me, it's not that sexy. Just even seeing guys walking around. Like, that's not that sexy to me. Not. You apparently find it a little sexy, but
only a little bit. Only when they're doing a striptease in front of the camera, that's when I find it the most sexy.
Okay,
but and that's the last word I'm gonna have on that.
Anybody saying anything before we move on to our next story?
Dongs with coffee cups in the locker room is mighty shady, and I agree. And that's from Alan W. Teddy thinks I dug a hole, and I think I did a pretty good job of digging my way out of it again. So, and Jen says that the gym I go to is the best with its private showers. If those walls could talk. Oh my.
Okay. Jen, we want that story on the Discord channel.
Oh yeah.
A little bit later. And by the way, you guys can,
of course.
The Discord channel is where we share the conversation continues after our 2 shows. We do 2 shows a week, and it's very fun. We share a lot of stuff. We've got a great community that we're starting over there on our Discord channel. When you join our Patreon channel, patreon.com/TAGSPodcast at the the Twink tier and above. So consider joining that over there. Okay, our next story, I'm going to put the video that you have to scroll through the story for you guys watching live. Okay. But this next story, there's a reality star that I didn't know, Stevie J.
How do you not? You don't watch Love and Hip Hop?
No, I do not. But there's too many of them. But my Daily Pop, I watch Daily Pop, and they're always talking about it on there. Stevie J was apparently getting a blowjob during a FaceTime interview with a reporter. And while the act itself, they write, might be shocking, the crazy part is the interviewer, she kind of soldiered on and went on with this. He is on Love and Hip Hop. It became clear quickly that Stevie J, I love how I'm Stevie V. I'm Steve V. He's Stevie J.
He's Stevie J.
If you look for it, every day has a cause for celebration. We're celebrating every week, recording our favorite podcast. Celebrate yourself for keeping the couch warm. Or maybe you just want to celebrate living in 2022, where you can get a beer, wine, and spirits delivered from Drizzly in under 60 minutes without leaving said couch. Right now, Drizzly is giving all new customers $5 off their first order with the code FAST5. Recently, I've been using Drizzly every week with my broken ankle, mainly for its convenience of shopping across stores so you can choose from a huge selection. Benefit? Get exactly what you want at the best price. So download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com COMPATIBILITY.com and use promo code FAST5 for $5 off your first order.
I'm Steve V, but I could be Stevie V.
Yeah.
Himself wasn't nearly in the same headspace as her. Not only was he shirtless and lying in bed, but he seemed to have company. And I watched the video, and
watched it twice.
it looks like he's getting a total blowjob while he's in this interview,
And
doesn't he?
It looks like he is a little bit intoxicated, under the influence of something. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think so. I'm not going to say what, because I can't say what, because I don't know. But this is the par for the course for Stevie J. Stevie J is a wild boy, and I'm glad that Faith Evans is not married to him anymore, because I
love Faith Evans.
She's great, and she's too classy for him. This doesn't shock me at all.
He's sexy. I mean, I've never seen him before, but he's very sexy in that video there. But even in our show, I think we've had porn stars. I've interviewed porn stars, Boomer Banks, and on Dante Cole, who was in his house, D'Angelo Jackson. They are actual sex porn stars. And they took the interview very seriously, and they opened up about everything that they do on camera. But it was, I mean, even they take their interviews seriously. So it's almost like a nod to the sex industry and not to the reality TV stars who, I mean, I don't even know why that girl just didn't say, I mean, I guess she really needed this interview, because I would have been mortified for, it was also, I mean, I guess she did it on FaceTime, but how is she going to, I mean, although on the other hand, we're talking about it and people are going to look at this story, and maybe it's like going to boost up her, you know, her whatever show she's on. So
yeah, he did it
maybe
she's
on to something.
Shock value and ratings for sure. He wanted to get people's attention again. He is an attention seeking person. I'm not going to say
yes, but that really, to me, crosses a line. I mean, on the other hand, if you say he's sort of he's a bad boy, he's on reality TV, maybe it's part of the branding. And we talk a lot about branding on this show. Yeah. And maybe it's part of his brand. So maybe it was the right choice. I don't know.
I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. I think that is something that he would do, in my mind. And I think that he did it because he wants attention, and because people have forgotten about him, and he wants to feel like the man after Faith divorced him. So, I do believe that he was stooped so low, but no, he's so talented as a producer too. So I don't get it. But
yeah. Moving on. This is a great thread on Reddit that I wanted to talk about. It's called entitled Sexual Compatibility and Dating. A Reddit thread writer wrote, I need some advice. I'm just starting to regularly date, and I'm wondering when I should bring up the issue of sexual compatibility. Honesty, integrity, shared values, and interests, that's my foundation. And I want to get to know someone and build a relationship over time. So I'm not just jumping into sex, but good sex is a top priority. And I want to meet someone who enjoys it as much as I do. And I define good sex as enjoying each other's bodies and relishing that physical connection. So I'm not setting unrealistic expectations of nightly sex Olympics. I like that part. Dating is tricky, he writes, because if you start talking about sex too soon, guys can think you're only interested in hooking up. I'm not hooking up. Hookups are exhausting to this guy. But if you wait too long, you can end up spending a lot of time with someone with whom you're not compatible, or the vibe just kind of dies.
Yeah,
that's true. Dating in general has been odd for me because it feels like men are trying so hard to distance themselves from hookup culture that it becomes a very business-like experience, sanitized, if you will. So when it is appropriate to start talking about what one is looking for sexually, when is it okay to say I'm horny as fuck all the time and I want someone who feels the same? Maybe I'll just sense it with the right guy, but I don't want to blow it by not bringing it up or bringing it up too soon. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is a long one, you guys. I'm almost done here. His background is he's a divorced professional. He's been through therapy. He's in a healthy place. He considers himself a gentleman with integrity, honor, and keeping commitments, and I treat people with respect. And part of my growth process has been understanding that I am very physical, very sexual man, and I need to meet someone who is compatible with that. Whew. Okay.
Get it, girl. You did it. You did it. Fantastic.
I did it.
I'm so proud of you.
I think what one person responded was, "Child, you're overthinking it." They didn't say child, but I added that. And I kind of have to agree that I don't want to underplay this long ass thing that he wrote, but I do think maybe he's overthinking it a little bit. On the other hand, sexual compatibility, we talk about so much on this show. We get people writing in asking advice, and that always ends up being a big thing.
Yeah.
So some other people wrote in and said you should get that out of the way sooner than later, I think. And because we know as gay men or even bisexual, all of it, I think in our acronym, I think it's good to get it out of the way earlier than later. And I don't think that makes you... I've been in a relationship before with someone where we weren't really compatible. We really liked each other. We had a lot of connection. We laughed. I was so turned on by him. He was turned on by me, but we weren't really compatible sexually. Two bottoms don't always make a right. Essentially, I was going to have to be the more top in the situation, which I could do, but it wasn't my go-to.
Yeah.
And we didn't break up because of that, but I could tell if we had continued on, that would have probably been harder to maintain the relationship.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on this?
I completely agree with everything that everybody has said and that you have said. I say, again, bring it up sooner rather than later, especially because he goes into detail about how important it is to him. So if it's important to you, it's something that you should bring up. I say bring it up on the first date. There are ways to bring...
What? I don't think the first date.
Yes, there are ways to bring it up without coming off as someone that is just there for sex, or even that you're going to have sex.
So what are you going to say? Hey, what do you like to do? Oh, do you like that restaurant? I love that restaurant. Hey, I'm at the top, you're a bottom, right? Like past the mashed potatoes? I mean, I don't know.
I say, yeah, as soon as because things will come up organically as soon as the opportunity presents itself. Even if it's on the first date, bring it up. And you never know. And you, like I said before, there's ways to bring it up without you coming off as somebody that just is there for sex.
Horned as fuck.
Yeah, like, okay, say you're there in the date.
Let's play this out. Okay.
Okay, let's do this. Are we doing this?
Okay. Yeah,
Hi,
right.
Steve, it's so nice to meet you. Hi. Bitch, is that you on a date for real? As cute as this is.
It's scandalo, yes.
I say that you definitely hit home how you're not just here at the date for a hookup, how you're looking for something long-term, and then talk about long-term goals as far as your sex life is concerned. I think that's something that sex is not something to be shied away from. We're all adults and we're not Puritans. It's something that we all need.
Yeah, you know what? And thinking a little bit more about it, it would save a lot more time if you did get it out of the way earlier, because a lot of people didn't meet like you met Joe on the apps. And I applaud you, because a lot of people meet on the apps, and you get that out of the way in the fine print or in the print on the app. And you can tell immediately if, okay, he's this, I'm that, great, or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're right. It probably would be better to get it out of the way earlier, so you don't waste that time and realize, oh my gosh, I like this person, and now I don't. We're on our third date, and I still don't know.
And that,
Fuck.
if it's the third date, you run the risk of being friend zoned, because we've discussed this before. And if you wait too long to bring up sex or to even kiss or to do whatever, then maybe after your first kiss, you say, "Oh my gosh, that was so hot. What are you into?" Bring it up that
good.
way, right?
Yeah, because didn't we have another show recently where we asked, do you kiss on the first date or something like that?
First date.
I do too. That was like another Reddit that I would too. If I'm into it. I've been on dates before where I didn't, and we went on a second date and a third date, and I still wasn't kissing, and I knew I wasn't into this person.
Exactly.
But they kept asking, and I kept going, and so but if they had did that kiss thing, I think we could have got that out of the way, and I could have said,
because the
you're a big old
juices
top,
are running.
right?
You're the juices are running and they're going, and it feels
I love
very
it.
That does, and it's the right moment to actually talk about what it would actually be like when we actually get to the bedroom. And this is something that I'm interested in you with. So
it's so funny though, because we inevitably read comments or people write in on the show, and they've been together for years, and they're both tops in the relationship. And often there's a lot of that, and we're talking like marriage years they've been together, and somehow it works. Either they are now open now and they just have a commitment and they love each other and they share a home or homes, and it can work that way. But I think nowadays, it's better to get that out of the way sooner than later and get that sexual thing out of the way. I mean, it doesn't mean
so
you
are
might
you saying
not.
You're going to date a bottom now? Is that what you're trying to tell
No,
me?
I'm not. What are the people saying?
The people are saying, Teddy says, harder to maintain the relationship. No pun intended. And then he does not agree with me that you bring it up on the first date. And that's okay.
See?
I'm open for debate and disagreements. And, and Alan says, bring it up after the test run. I want to know more about what a test run is. Alan, could you elaborate just a little bit more? And Teddy liked our role play until you pretended like you wasn't into all this. Okay. And Jen says,
I was sizing you up.
Okay. All right. You're playing a little bit too cool.
Okay. Well, it was a blind date, and I wasn't sure what was sitting in front of me. I wasn't sure I wanted to gas, grass, or stash you.
What if I wore this on a first date? That would be too much, right?
Shoot, and then also asked what I'm into. I would know, and you're paying for this date, bitch. More horrified.
Yeah, it's okay. I would have paid anyway, because you're so beautiful, darling. Jen says, always kiss on the first date. Did I read that one already?
I love that. Yeah, I like always kissing them.
Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh. And then Alan says, discuss it after you have sex. What? I think after you have sex is too late, darling. Because
well, wouldn't you have figured it out?
I hope so.
I think that he's being funny. Which
what worked and what didn't. I think we're talking, he's talking about something a little bit different. Maybe like sexual compatibility as a top and bottom. Like
we're so basic over here.
I know, right? We're like get the foundation down.
The
first,
foundation,
and then we can move on to what works and
chemistry
what doesn't work.
and all that good stuff.
Exactly. Okay, now I get it, Alan. Thank you.
I love that. Okay, well, thanks for playing on that one. Very fired up on that. This next one, I didn't know this myself, but do you know what VTubers are, Kodi?
No, I did not know before you sent me this.
We were talking about it. Or better yet, lewd tubers.
Oh.
So for the past few years, virtual YouTubers, also known as VTubers, have gained popularity online as streamers and vloggers. They basically use 2D and 3D computer-generated characters and engage in a variety of activities on social platforms. And as of 2022, there's more than 10,000 active VTubers around the world, some of whom have attracted lucrative brand deals. And the trend shows no signs of slowing down. A number of them are LGBTQ plus people with a growing faction of the trans community and non-binary sex workers gravitating towards the space. According to the Asian Studies scholar, VTubing appeals to users for a variety of reasons. Posing as an animated character grants them anonymity, mitigating the risk of safety concerns like stalking. These users can be anyone and anything they want, and their virtual community interactions offer a release from their own physical body. I like that part.
Yeah.
And during the pandemic, when jobs were scarce, some LGBTQ plus VTubers began to explore lewd tubing, LEWD tubing, lewd tubing, as a means to an end. These virtual cam performers use their digital avatar to perform more suggestive acts, and according to one expert, gain more creative expression through anonymity. And while some individuals who explore lewd tubing may not partake in releasing sexually explicit content, many do. Kodi, what do you think about lewd tubing, and would you do this since you're into comics and I think this would be really cool.
I love this. Okay, I'm so into cartoon porn. I read comic book porn. I've watched cartoon porn before, and I love it.
I think I would be into cartoon porn too a little bit.
I can send you a couple things, honey.
Can you? Do they accentuate everything?
Yes, everything. Well, I like
the sounds. The voice?
Oh yeah. Oh yes, girl.
I would love to be a voice actor for one of those. That would be really fun.
So I did some voice acting before, and it's so funny because like the grunts, like if you get hurt or if you get hit in a cartoon, it's kind of like the sound that you make when you're having sex. So that's a fun fact there.
Okay. And a little bit more amplified, a little bit more, yeah.
So I'll never watch cartoons the same anymore because after I learned that fun fact. But to bring it back to lewd tubing, that's something that the anonymity of it really appeals to me because we've mentioned before on this show that I am not really the type of person that can get on camera and really express myself sexually on camera. But with lewd tubing, I can have that layer of anonymity in front of me, and maybe I'll be able to express myself that way. So look out for my lewd tube, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really great for our community. It's great for anybody, I think, as long as you maybe don't get so consumed in it. But I think if you take it for what it is, many LGBTQ plus individuals, specifically transgender and non-binary folks, have used it for transitioning because of the many roadblocks or repercussions that they can get. I mean, there's so much hatred and violence towards the trans community that many have gone this road, and I would be all about it. I would love to create it, but then to be the voiceover of it. I would love to do the voice and write it.
I could see you doing a voice.
Yeah, that would be my favorite.
I should share my audition because I have an audition reel for doing voiceovers. I'll put it in the Discord.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Wait, was it porn?
No, it wasn't porn.
I want to hear.
It's so cute though. All the voices are me, even the dog.
Oh, the dog too?
Yeah, I do a dog voice.
Oh my God. Can you give us a little shake on it? Do you remember?
It was really just a bark. It was like arf or something like that.
Because there's a whole thing of dressing up as dogs and puppy play. So you better do a little bit better than arf. I need a full-on ruff. Exactly. A guy in bed made me once do that. I was making fun of I was just being silly, and I'm like, oh, I could never get into that puppy play. I couldn't imagine. I would feel so silly. And this guy made me bark in bed and really get into it, or he wasn't going to, give me the deed here. And I was barking away with howling like there was no tomorrow with my head back.
Yes, I'm getting you a tail for Christmas, darling.
Get me a tail, yeah, but one that goes inside me.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, okay. I know.
I know, I know. Oh my gosh, we've got to play our favorite game right now, and it's called Thirst Trap. I'm putting it in
Okay.
You got it? Oh, I think there we go. Okay. This was a really good week. Thirst Trap Thursday. It's straight up gay porn. Asks the question. This week they only gave us 10 gay porn stars, and they asked the question, who took the best photo or video? And I have to say, out of all 10 of them, all 10 really were stellar, and maybe that's why they curated it a little bit more. I'm going to go with Boomer Banks on this list this week. Was that your pick?
No, but
Boomer Banks, who's been on our show before when we did our live stream of TAGSPodcast at Rebar, who's very gracious and nice on the show, has a very moody picture. Like, really, it's a selfie, but it's really moody with purple lights, and he just looks so sinuous and luscious in this photo. His body's on point. The tattoos are just banging. His dick. He saw somebody that we had on the show, the doctor that talked about plumping up your dick.
Oh, really?
And I don't think Boomer needs any help in there, but I know he saw him for that, and it just looks perfect in this picture. The right amount of pubic hair. He's on a shag rug carpet, kneeling, looking in the mirror, and it's like you just want to like get in there. I mean, it looks really
in the picture with him.
It's very erotic to me.
Sensual for sure.
Sensual and hot. I'm all, and that dick is just like, wait, what? Boomer gets my vote on that one. Who's your pick and why?
So before I go, I want to say Joe and I went through them together this week.
Oh, you did? Oh, good. Oh, good.
I know.
Wow, you just move in for date night, going through Thirst Trap. Who are you two?
I know.
Evolved couple.
We're evolving, darling. And he chose Boomer. So that's why I gasped when you said Boomer.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
But my pick is, this week it goes to Sammy Fitness, who's right above Boomer.
Oh, yes. That body.
Oh my goodness. So he's so gorgeous.
You kind of have that kind of body too, Kodi.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. I don't need anything else. I can log out right now.
No, you cannot. Finish your statement, bitch. I'll tell you when we log out. Because aren't I what am I, the HBC? What did you say?
HBIC, head bitch.
HBIC. I'm the head. Somebody told I'm the HBIC, yeah.
So it's a gorgeous shot of him on a balcony, and it's playing with the light and the shadow, and it's just so artistic and beautiful. And he's got his underwear pulled down, and he's exposing this semi-erect cock and a full.
You know what? The bush is. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Tell me. I love it. It's so good, right?
Is the bush coming back? Because in the last several thirst traps and pictures we've analyzed as scientists over here at Tags, just as squirrel friends, I have to say that the bush has made a major comeback, kind of like that 70s bush. Now, I will say what I've noticed is not the kind of bush where we all know that your bush can kind of cover up your dick a little bit if you don't cut that part. Like I have to kind of make sure that, because you want it to look as big and long as you possibly can. Yep. But letting the rest of it kind of grow around, I feel, is back again.
It's so hot, right?
I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I kind of like it.
So okay, we're gonna say it,
It
right
makes
here,
it that
right
much
now.
easier. Yeah.
The bush is back.
The
You and
bush
I
is.
said it first.
Yeah. Are you guys here for the Bush people watching, or is it just Kodi and I and Blake or whoever, Sammy? Who else are people voting for?
So Nico Koopa, Alan
Our
W
listener?
voted for.
Oh no.
Yeah. Alan voted for Nico Koopa. He says he's got a beautiful and ready hole. Jin says,
I saw that hole,
yeah,
Alan, and it's like puckered up. I mean, it's perfect.
Is it waving high? Okay.
It's waving high. It's like, yeah, it's delicious.
And Jin says, wavy do for him. That cock, that smooth skin, is literally making Jin rock hard right now. And okay. Get it.
Get it. Bring that over to the Discord channel afterwards.
Teddy says Johnson. I don't know. Did you see a Johnson on there?
Did he get the right week?
Oh yeah, Johnson.
Oh,
Okay,
apparently. Look at you. Oh yeah, Johnson.
Oh yeah, Johnson.
Where's Johnson in the mix?
He's underneath Boomer.
Oh.
Which is a good place
I saw
to be
that.
out here.
That dick is beautiful.
Yeah.
The way it's just semi-erect and just kind of there. Yeah, I was struck by Johnson too. The dick, and then I had to look at the rest of it. But yeah.
Unintended. What about Kyle Ross, you guys? Did you guys see that one?
I did, and I also
blue light with the I think it's a fisting thing.
Yeah, what is going on there. He's got the lighting that Boomer Banks has, but it's a lot more like intense.
Yeah,
he looks dazed and confused in the picture, but which you
Wouldn't
should
you
be.
if you had
that's like an arm going in his ass.
I was just about to say that.
You know what? He's focused, Kodi.
Hey,
and you have to be focused when something that large is going in you. You are focused.
I will take your word for it.
Yeah. Oh my God. So much fun.
So much fun.
Thanks for playing. You guys listening to this show when it drops tomorrow, Thursday, can vote on your own, as I will post this on TAGSPodcast.com. Just look for show notes and podcast on TAGSPodcast.com. This is episode 348. Also, don't forget, Tuesday, March 29th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on our Patreon page, our Discord channel, our voice Discord channel, we're starting our deeper conversation, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to, it's going to be really good. For the subcategory and beyond, go to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast if you want to join this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks, guys. So much fun. Follow my co-host, Kodi Maurice Doggette, at KMD Coaching. He's a life coach, or at Mr. Maurice on Instagram. Follow us on the TikTok at TAGSPodcast. Thanks, guys. So much fun, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes.
Bye. Yes.